Hello, I'm Glen Seymour. I own and operate Seventh Dimension Games. Seventh Dimension Games is the latest in a long line of game shops in the area. Most recently, 2 years ago, Abington Games and Hobbies was in this location. When they decided that they could no longer make that work in fall of 2009, they closed their doors. At the time, I was unemployed, so I bought out their remaining stock, bought all their fixtures, bought all their furnishings, and opened in the same location. Seventh Dimension Games is roughly equal parts board games, miniature games, and card games. Board games are the modern gaming style of Euro games, probably the best known of which is Settlers of Catan, or possibly Carcassonne, one of those sort of things. Basically, in the mid-90s, there became a revolution in board games that was designer-named games. Yeah, you can go buy Candyland for $2, but how many times do you want to play that with your kid? Also, the other thing is, we returned games to where they originally were. Chess is the game of kings, after all. It's not a game that you teach children, it's a game that adults play. And most of our games definitely fall into that category of we expect an older age group, the 20s, 30s, 40s that come in here and play. Miniature games, our most popular miniature game is still Flames of War, which is a World War II reenactment game. Additionally, we have games such as Warhammer 40K, I just brought into the store recently, a few months back. And then some of the more exotic games, like some of the Spartan games like Dystopia, the new steampunk miniatures game. For card games, we're talking mostly collectible card games, such as probably the best known Magic the Gathering, but Legends of the Five Rings and World of Warcraft's card game also sell very well. Together, those are the big three. There's a couple of smattering of Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon and whatnot, but those are the bigger ones. Collectible card games all have the same business model in that in order to stay competitive with your decks, you must buy the current set of cards, mix them in, and when the newest set comes out, upgrade again. That would probably be our balancing act, is trying to get that mix right. I think it's important to do a well-rounded balance between the various items in order to try to not put all the eggs in one basket, but rather be a full-service stop. In the average week, we have several scheduled tournaments and then some much more casual events. For example, we do Friday Night Magic, which is where the Magic the Card game, they do regular events every week. Thursday nights we do Legends of the Five Rings collectible card game tournaments every week. During the course of the week, we also do things like open board gaming, where we get a lot of players in for that. Open miniature gaming, like right now, the noise you hear in the background is a game of 40K being played. We also are, right now, we're doing a league event for Flames of War, where we're doing an escalation league, which means each month you need to bring a bigger army. So our army started very small for this month, and they'll progress upwards. We also do learning to paint stuff. We don't actually teach as such. What we actually do is there's a large group of guys that sit and paint together once a week, and we're welcome to have new people come in and basically learn by doing. Because we believe that rather than trying to just have a class where you teach somebody, the best way to get them to know how to paint a miniature is to actually sit down with a paintbrush in hand and go, I don't know what I'm doing, and have the guy next to you give you a tip on what's useful to you right then. You would visit Seventh Dimension Games in order to do, well, number one, find an opponent is one of the biggest services that I really provide, is to get you to meet somebody who wants to play the same game that you want to play. Whether that's trying to put together a role-playing group, trying to find somebody else to play the miniature game that you think is most enjoyable, the card game that you think is best, whatever your style is, to try to find someone, an opponent of that. The other thing is that we keep a lot of things on hand. So if you're looking for a new board game to play, I'd be more than willing to help you walk through, learn a new game, or simply to select a game that's right for who you are and what your style of play is.
Everybody wave to the camera. Wave to